It's night time and he's knackered, he is. Like, he's been out we've been out about 5 hours today. He's done really well. He's dead beat now, just called his name, Hiccup. He's dead to the world. No. Where is he? Down there, look. Hiccup's dead to the world. Not even Hiccup is going to wake him up, look. Is it Hiccup? When you get a dog like that, tired and asleep, not responding to his name, he's content. And that's what I mean. It takes a lot of work with German Shepherd, a lot of time. He's been a busy boy, but he's going to have to get up in a minute because he's got to go for his last wee of the night. I've had a subscriber saying, what is the first thing you teach your dog? Well, in your email you should have said what kind of dog. Depends on the breed. It depends on its age, if it's a puppy or an adult. Depends if it's a family's dog that you're taking over or just want to help train it. Is it a rescue? Is it a rehome? Have you got it from a dog pound, dog kennels, whatever? I can only tell you, if you've got a puppy, it's like a baby. You've got to clean up after itself, because a puppy will leave 6-8 weeks after being born, maybe have its first poison injection, vaccines. Then you've got to keep an eye on it, because normally if it poops, mum will clean it up, as in the puppy's mum, the other dog, the owner, the dog itself. Well, when you take that dog out of its environment and its mother can no longer wipe its arse, then that's your job. So your job is to then cater for it. And what you've got to remember is, once it's away from its mom, you become its family. But you don't bring it up as a dog, you bring it up as a companion, as a pet. So you bring it into your fold. But people forget it's still a canine, it's a dog. So get it to do doggy things. And you're going to say, well, what are they? Research it. It's no good just listening to some random guy on YouTube like myself saying this is what a dog does. If you don't know what a dog does, you shouldn't own a dog. Although they're a domestic animal, not a wild animal. The German Shepherd is classed as a wolf, and it likes to do wolf kind things, and that's stick its beak to the floor and sniff things out. And they do all kinds of doggy things. But then we domesticate them even more, don't we? We get them to sit. Well, its mother wouldn't get it to sit, or to lay down, or to roll over and have its belly tickled. It will play, but the puppies play, and they play with each other. They learn to bite and chew on things and so forth. Well, I've only had one puppy, and I don't want a puppy again. I want to get past that part. I would rather help a dog that needs the help. And that's why I've got this little guy here, because he needed a home where he can relax more and do more. So he's on his own. He's got no other dogs or cats around. He's completely on his own. That means his food bowl, anything that's put in it, is for him. No one else is going to take it. There's no other pet in the house. So what's the first thing? Well, he kind of already knew how to sit, how to lay. Kind of heel. He was a bit of a puller. I pulled him back on that. sitting on command is different in the house, in the backyard, or over the field, because there's no distractions there. When you take them out into the road, that is when you need for him to listen. That's where you do the real training. When you've taught him in the field like I have, to get that communication, to get that connection, then you take all that practice out onto the street. So you walk up and down the street. I'm quite good here because I'm quite lucky, because in the village, although there's only about 2,000 people, there give or take a 50 or something, the road's pretty empty. At certain times there's nobody around. You can walk through the whole village and not see a soul. So I can walk him around the village, let him get a good sniff of everything, and then I'll start working him. I'll stop him. I'll say stop. In fact, I use wait. I go wait, so because he knows the word wait, so he stops with me. And I say sit, and he'll sit. And I'll say lay down, or I'll go, and I cut that down now to down, so it's stop. In fact, it's wait, sit, down, and then I go walk on. Then he gets up, carries on. When someone's around, he just wants to go, oh, there's someone there, let's go and say hello to him. He's a friendly dog. He likes to say hello to people. Yet he didn't he didn't really take much notice of me when he came out of his house. He noticed me, he looked at me, and then that was it. He wasn't interested, because he knew he was going to go for a walk. But no, since because I've been introducing him to people and taking him into different houses, he's taken my vibe. Oh, he's coming in, he's friendly, he's calm, and the dog reads this. So when it's busy out there at certain times of day, where there's traffic coming through, there's horses coming through, there's other dog handlers coming through, and dog owners, and there's the odd cat that's wandering around. He's busy, he's looking around constantly. It's very difficult to get his attention, and that's when I need his attention. So going back to, what do you teach a dog first? If it's a puppy, it's toilet training. So you get him to go outside and not inside, so he's house trained, and that's what it's called, house trained. The other thing you do with a puppy is you teach it what it can bite, because puppies do chew on things, what it can bite, what it can't bite. It's hard work for a puppy. It's not something you just tap it on the bum and say no. It's not going to learn anything from that. You have to be mom. Mom's round it all the time until somebody takes it and buys it or whatever. You've got to do the job mom does. You've got to put all that effort in. That's why years ago they used to say a dog is not for Christmas, it's for life. Or a dog is for life, not just for Christmas. That advert's never on now. Well, it might be, I don't know. I've not watched TV in probably 30 years. But that's what you do with a puppy. If you get a dog that's like 2-year-old, then the chances are it's been house trained, and it probably already knows the commands sit and lay down. More often than not, people don't progress after that. As long as they've got a dog that doesn't pull on a lead, so you can walk comfortable, that it will sit like at junctions or at roads, or where it needs to sit. And then if you're going to talk to someone for a while, you go lay down, just chill out, I'm going to talk to this person. So once you've done that, then you've pretty much what I call a companion, one that you can go out for a walk stress-free. So it's not pulling you, it will sit down, it's socialising with other dogs and other people, so it's a safe dog. Whether it's a German Shepherd or a little mongrel, whatever, a little ankle biter, or pocket dogs I call them. Any breed, any dog is the same. In that environment, that's where it needs to be taught. It needs to be taught the human way, not the dog way. Although it will still be a dog, it will still do doggy things like scratching at gardens. You know, you teach it not to, because it's a natural digger, a dog is. It will bury its bone and cover it up. Dogs used to, they don't anymore for some strange reason, is they're other, and they used to scratch the grass and try and cover it up. Dogs don't do it. I suppose over the years, it's sort of like been, I don't know, bred out of it maybe. So it depends what age they are and what capabilities or what they've been taught. But you can teach a dog anything, well, to a certain degree. You're not going to get a Jack Russell going over a 9-foot fence, where you can get a German Shepherd to do that. So you might go into the field of just your family pet, as in sit, lay down, don't chew things, be friendly to people, be friendly to other dogs. So you've got your normal pet. Then you might want to go slightly advanced, where you might want to do some event with it. You know, you might want it going through laps and going through tunnels and over walls and trellises and so on. You might want something even better. You might want some, like a guard dog. So you'd get different training for that. Then you've got the elite, which is hard work. You're talking 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, for at least 2 years to get an elite dog. And you get out of a German Shepherd whatever's in it. Same as the one we was talking about earlier, which is the Belgian Shepherd. That we get one of those, that's an elite. You're going to pay £250,000 for it, easy. German Shepherd, fully trained up, probably not as much, probably 35, maybe 55,000 fully trained. And I'm talking elite. I'm talking body armour on, glasses, ear defenders, cameras on it, the lot, and it will be spoken to via radio that will have a little speaker in its ear, so it can listen to the handler sending it into the war zone. It depends what level you want, but I would get a decent dog handler's book for what they call basic training. So your basic training is you sit, you lay down, you heel. When it's away, you recall. Recall is very, very important. Probably the most important is the recall, because wherever your dog is, you know, it might be 20 foot away, might be 300 foot away, might be over the other side of the field, like Jaeger used to be. I used to go boo boo, and that would be it. She'll come straight back, and that's what you need. So to me, if you're out unleashed, is the recall. If it's a dog that's leashed because you don't like other dogs in the area, then all you need is your basics. You know, you sit, you lay, you heel, and be friendly to people and communicate with other dogs. So socialising dogs, you do need to socialise dogs. That's what I've done for 4 days solid. I've socialised him with people and dogs. Although the dogs was hard work to start with, you've got to break that barrier. And then once you break it, and that's all down to time and patience and hours put in. Like you see a 10-minute video or a 15-minute video. Well, for me, that last video about an aggressive dog to a non-aggressive dog, that took me 3 days, and that took me about 8 to 10 hours. Now, the other question you asked is, do I use anything other than voice? And I do. I've got a few things on here. Yeah, right. whistle. I'm not going to blow it because it's late and, well, that's all it is. I don't use the whistle on him. It doesn't work. Now, some dogs will listen to the whistle. Depends what whistle you've got. And I've got a flat whistle, which is designed really for border collies, for sheep farmers, for their shepherds to round up the sheep. The other thing I use is a clicker. How you use one of these is if you go Dougal, click, Dougal, click. Clicker doesn't work. Not on this boy. It didn't work on Jaeger either. Or did the whistle work on Jaeger? The whistle did kind of work on Jaeger for a short while. But you've got to be careful with whistles because dogs have got a very, this isn't a high pitch whistle. The higher the pitch, in fact, you can actually get a whistle that you can't hear, but the dog can. But it can, the dog's got very sensitive ears. Now, I normally use a harness on a dog because I can give a little yank to say, listen. That's what it is, a little yank, pulls the whole of the chest so it's not round its neck. And doesn't look at me, I'll pull a little bit harder until they look. Now the problem is when one of these dogs, German Shepherds, go into attack mode, and this dog certainly did have a trigger. As soon as it saw a dog, bang, it wanted it. Now it didn't want it if it was across the road. It wasn't that dangerous. It wasn't if it saw a dog that it had to go and have it. Right, it wasn't like that. If you're 20 foot away from it, it's fine. If it's 20 foot away from you and the dog's barking and growling, then he wants to go. And I thought, right, I've got to correct that. That can't happen. I don't want that. So I've tried the pulling on the lead. I've tried yanking on it. He's not listening. When he's triggered, he's not listening. Now, you can get a device called an e-collar. Don't panic. I would never use one. I think those e-collars are bad. I don't like them. Now, I know a lot of people say, well, farmers use electric fencing to keep their cattle in, to keep their sheep in, keep horses in, and etc. Yeah, they touch it once. They don't get near it again, right? But it's not round their neck. It's not making them jolt like that. It gives them a little shock on the nose and that's it. They don't go near the fence again. What mine is, mine's a very similar one, right? This works on vibration. And these are actually used for deaf dogs. Now, a woman saw it today. She said, oh, I wouldn't use them on my dog. I said, oh, what do you think it is? She goes, an e-collar. I said, no. This one is mainly used. It's a bit like a mobile phone. If you've got it on vibrate, you've got it in your pocket, and somebody rings you, you think, oh, it's a phone. That's all it is. All this is really is an extension of my voice. Now, I'm going to put it on the highest setting. So you click that once, that's on now. Click that once. It's on 99. That's the highest it goes up to, right? I'll put that on my neck. You can hardly feel it. Now that was just one click. If I keep it pressed, doesn't it at all. What it is, it's just when you use it, this is where people don't know how to use these things and why you should never use an e-collar or electric one. In fact, they're being banned from year 24 next year, which I'm glad. Now, I'm not saying they are an evil thing, but not use them, because if I keep my finger on that, it'll just keep buzzing. Well, can you imagine that being an e-collar, electric one? That's electric shock constantly, instead of just a quick. So I'm glad they're being banned. And I certainly wouldn't use one on a dog. I've always said, you'll never learn anything from abuse. Nothing. Because while you're being abused, you're not learning anything. Because you're just concentrating on what a bastard that person is. Somebody sits you down and explains something to you, then you start listening. And that's the same as a dog. If you're kind to it, if you love it, if you're patient, it will reward you. These dogs will deliver every time, guaranteed. Now, there's a trainer not far from me, and he says, oh, I can out you with your dog. 2-hour session, 170 quid. And I thought, I'm going to become a dog trainer. Because that's what, £170. That's £85 an hour this guy's on. Now that is a 1-to-1. Okay. The guy must be on £3,000-4,000 a week. It's a bit like vets. I don't like dog trainers to a certain degree, and I don't like vets because all they're in for is the money, honey. And I have said, if anybody in North Devon wants help with their dog, get in contact. As long as you're in a 20, I'll go 30 mile radius of where I am, I'll come and help you. Because I won't be training your dog. I'll be training you how to train your dog. There's no point nobody training my dog and then bringing it back, because he ain't going to listen to me, because I wouldn't be his trainer. To train a dog, you need to be there to do it. All that trainer's going to do. You go to any of these places, these dog courses, they're great places to go, because your dog starts socialising with other dogs and they'll give them commands, but you're taught how to do it. Your dog's there with you, and the trainer will go how to get it to sit, how to get it to lie, how to get it to heel, and so forth. Okay, how to wait while you walk away and call it. I can teach you that, and I won't be charging £170 for 2 hours, and I wouldn't be charging £85 an hour. You know, you pay for my fuel. A couple of cups of coffee, sandwich, I'm done. Because I love dogs. And that's the difference between me and a dog handler. I love this dog. I went 168 miles for it. I would have paid for it. I offered her money for it. She said, no, I just want the dog to go to a good home. But I would have paid for it, because I love dogs. I wanted this dog. I've got this dog. And Linda will be watching these, because I said I'll do YouTube channel so she can see the dog's in good hands. It's having a great life. And she can still see it, although she can't cuddle it and fuss it and do anything with it. She can see it's happy. That will give her peace of mind that it's in a good home. It's not going to be an elite dog. All I want this dog to do is, when I'm out, is it will be by my side without a leash. When I stop, it will stop. When I cross the road, it will cross the road. When I ask it to sit, it will sit. When I ask it to lay down, it will lay down. When I ask it to go off in the woodlands and have an adventure, like Jaeger used to, sure have a potter around. Later on in life, she started getting less and less further away and kept next to me. Even though I was saying, go on, go. She'll toddle along in front, and then she'll stop and she'll look round. Then she'll toddle along a bit more, stop and look round constantly. And then sadly she died. And again, I've always said that the worst part of owning a dog is they're only with us for a short period of time. Give it the best you can, you know. They will reward you in many ways. If you don't know how to train a dog, what you've got to do is read a book, but take notice what the book says, because a lot of books, a lot of trainers don't teach something right. Sit. That's all you use. Sit. Dogs will learn about 50 words. So you go, sit. Don't say, please sit down for me. They ain't got a fucking clue what you're talking about. Sit. Simple word. Sit. Reward it. Lay. I just use down. I use sit, down, up. When you go up, the dog will sit up again, as in sitting. And then I say walk on, and it gets up. Or I shall say up, get up. I use up and get up, and he knows the difference already of up and get up. When I go walkies, he just tips his head to say, what's that? Do you want to go walk? I pick his lead up. No, he doesn't get excited. Oh, I'm going out, I'm going out. Doesn't get excited. If I said to Jaeger, do you want to go woods? She'd got a lead in her and dropped it at my feet. Yeah, I do want to go woods. I'll go, do you want to go to Mary's? That's the 91-year-old woman down there. Yeah, straight out near the door, nose to the door. If she wanted something to eat, she'll point to the cupboard what she wants, because her food's in one cupboard, her treats are in another cupboard. She might want some milk, so she'll go to the fridge. She was a smart dog. Because I talk to my dogs. I don't just open a tin of meat, drop it in the tin and throw it on the floor and go, he'll eat it when he's ready. I talk to him. I talk to Jaeger. It's like, we got into a routine, and this takes years to build up. Jaeger would wake up, lick me on the face, and I'd go, come and give us a cuddle. She'll go around the other side of the bed, jump on, lay her back to me, and then she'll turn over for a belly rub. And then I'll say, walkers, bang. She picked the lead up, and off we go, like, once I've dressed. Don't have a wash, don't have a coffee. I'm straight out, because I cater for her first. I can go to the toilet after her. I always put her first. Some people don't put the dogs first. But the food, I say, do you want your dinner? Jaeger got used to 10 o'clock and 4 o'clock. And if it was 4:15, she'd come up to me, bark, go in the kitchen, point at the food cupboard, say, it's 4 o'clock. He's very difficult to feed. I have to sort of hold it. He did grow up, well, he's had 2 dogs with him, and I suppose they all ate together, I don't know. But if I just open a tin of meat and give him his food what he wants, in fact, the food that was given me, he's not touching, but I had some food left over from Jaeger, and I offered him that. And he looked at it, and I had to pick it up and take the bowl to him and say, you can eat it, good boy. And he started eating it, and I put it on the floor. And he was like a big baby. I've sort of nearly got a spoon feed him. Right, I got 3 bonios, put them between his paws and thought, well, if you're going to eat it, eat it. If you don't, don't. And I just ignored him, and then he ate them. And then last 2 days, he's been good with his food. But he's a strange dog for food. And he's not one for treats. You give all kinds of treats, and not interested in them. I did have some treats off Linda in a little tube. He didn't want them, and then the next day he did have a few. He ate all the I think they were rabbit ears. He ate them. But to me, he's a fussy eater. Jaeger. Well, and he likes milk. Jaeger liked milk. I gave him some, I thought I'd offer him some milk, because when I first had him, he wasn't eating, because dogs get a bit of anxiety when you move them. Although he got here good in the back of the van. He was in a crate, as you've seen from previous videos. He travels great. When he got here, I was only just made myself a cup of coffee. I got him some water, sat down. He brought me the ball he wanted to play, which is good. But I thought he's probably not going to eat. Now normally he'd eat 9 o'clock at night, as Linda told me, but no, he didn't want to eat. The food was there. I slung it in the morning, put some fresh out. Didn't want it. That was the next day. So I thought, right, I give him some milk, because at least milk will fill him up a little bit other than water. So I gave him milk and he drank half a pint. So I thought, he's got something in his pocket. It's a good line of milk is. But no, he's not, you know, when I went down Mary's earlier, he hadn't eaten because he didn't want his dinner, and he wouldn't take her treats. So he's a strange dog. And this is what I mean, you've got to study your dog, find out what makes it tick, what it eats and what it doesn't eat. Whatever I ate, Jaeger ate. You know, I could have a Sunday roast, I'd have to make her one as well. Carrots, peas, broccoli, chicken, whatever I had, gravy on it, mix it up, let it cool down a bit, give it a bump. That was wolf down. But I'm still working out what he wants to eat, what his eating habits are like. His poops are a little runny, a little soft. So he's probably still got a little bit of anxiety in him from moving. It could be a number of things. He's not ill because I've had him checked out by the doctor, by the vet, checked inside the mouth, in the ears, all around him. Weighed him. He's a good weight. He's healthy. You know, you can normally tell by ears and mouth and nose and how he looks. He's happy. He's a happy dog. He's a knackered one. He's a knackered one now, but he's a happy one. So what's the first thing you do when you're training? Depends on the age. It depends what they know. All I can say is just love the dog and do your best. Read some books, study, talk to it, listen to it, see if it's perking up on certain words, and go from there.